John Heilemann. John, your job tonight is to normalize us. People have come home, they've turned on the television, hopefully, preferably this network, and they've heard the president using a term, Spygate, telling us in the media we're all using the term Spygate / that means someone used it on Fox and Friends this morning. What has happened here? This wasn't a thing days ago. Now it's a gate.
All it means is that someone, not even on Fox and Friends, but some little man in Donald Trump's head has said it. You remember there was a period of time when you used to say this about Elizabeth Warren, too. Say they call her Pocahontas. The only person who called her Pocahontas was President Trump. What happened was the New York Times wrote a big story in which they revealed the existence of Crossfire Hurricane. And they went back and traced the history of the FBI's, that they had done the history of the FBI's investigation into Hillary Clinton many months ago. Now they did the history of the investigation, the counterintelligence investigation into Donald Trump, which we did not know about in real time, an important fact about that investigation. They went back and did that last week. And in that piece of reporting, they revealed that there was this informant who had spoken to three people in the Trump campaign on the outer peripheries of the Trump campaign, including Carter Page, George Papadopoulos, not central players, but had conversations. But that was something that as soon as it came out, this notion of an informant, the president seized on.
The informant worried that the Russians were wheedling their way into our election.
A counterintelligence investigation conducted by the FBI to try, knowing what we now know is true, that has been proven beyond all doubt, that has been affirmed by Donald Trump's own intelligence community. All of the appointees of his community have now come out and said it. The Russians interfered in the 2016 election to help Donald Trump win. That is beyond dispute. The FBI had an early inkling of that and was trying to figure out in real time what that consisted of and then to try to stop it. And this was what this informant was supposed to be part of. It was the most discreet thing they could have done. The FBI, if they wanted to be disruptive towards candidate Trump's campaign, could have gone and knocked on people's doors, could have gone and shouted from the rooftops that there were problems. Instead, they conducted a relatively low-key form of observation and tried to find out what was happening. The President Trump continues to make the argument that there was a conspiracy against him launched by the intelligence community and the law enforcement community, launched mainly by the Obama administration, to stop him from being president. And yet, all of the information about Hillary Clinton's transgressions and her alleged transgressions and her minor transgressions, all the things that went around, all of that was public by Election Day.
There was a press conference about her.
Many press conferences and many details that were given to congressional committees, many things that were done, including Jim Comey coming out 10 days before the election and saying that he was reopening the case. All of that was public. And on Election Day, no one in America knew that the FBI was investigating Donald Trump. If they were trying to stop Donald Trump from being president, you would have thought they might have leaked it. But they didn't leak it, including the existence of this informant. So that's where we are right now. We are through the looking glass and into this Orwellian place where Donald Trump goes out on the White House lawn and talks about how he's doing this all in the interest of transparency. And yet, at least initially, this meeting was conceived to be an exposure of confidential informant to only Devin Nunes and Trey Gowdy, two House Republicans, rather than what is now, thank God, has now transpired, which is that the Gang of Eight as custom, because Congress pushed back. But it is a crazy situation, Brian, and I will just say, I agree 100% with Michael Hayden, and I've been saying it for weeks. The president has now an arsenal of invective, and it includes these words that he drills in a repetitive way into the skulls of the body politic. No collusion, witch hunt, hoax. Spygate is now going to take its place among those words, and we are going to hear it over and over and over again to try to build up a reservoir, a political bulwark, so that when whatever happens in the Robert Mueller investigation, when the results come out, and when the Michael Cohen situation resolves itself, when we know everything that the prosecutors know, Donald Trump will be able to say to the public, none of it matters. It's all a conspiracy, and hope to God that he has enough people who believe him that will carry him through, regardless of what the prosecutors find.
I think we're going to release a director's cut of what you just performed on DVD at stores now.